Okay, hi. My name is Ivan. I'm going to present to you our early stage startup. As mentioned, we are building innovation in a niche business of distressed properties across Europe and hopefully beyond. And we are doing that by using data analytics, machine learning, and crunching big data approach. For those who might not know about distressed real estate market, it's basically a market that is governed by the laws and judiciary legal systems in every country. They're somewhat similar with certain nuances across the world, where government authorities like commercial courts, municipal courts, different ministries are selling distressed properties that are being seized after corporates go into insolvency. So why this is interesting to us is primarily because we have detected that the market is really outdated and it has not been digitized in majority of countries globally. And on the other hand, there is a lot of trustworthy data that is vetted by the government authorities and independent bodies, which allows us for really interesting intelligence and building micro products. So what is interesting, after we have spent last couple of months speaking with customers from Taiwan, Australia, all over Europe and United States, we realized that the perception of the general public is that auctions are run by gangsters. Here also in the Balkans, I believe many people will think the same, which is really interesting, even though based on our analysis, the data shows that this is not generally the case. But the perception of the public is like that, and we are trying to democratize access and change the perception. Also, many people are not aware that by crunching the data, being persistent, using legal knowledge as well as the data knowledge, you can buy properties, whether a apartment, house, agricultural land, construction land, or another, with heavy discount compared to the market rates, even to 60% or higher. Of course, this comes with certain relatively small risk, but more it comes with dealing with bureaucracies and kind of murky, inefficient systems that I'm going to talk about today. So also because here, especially in this conference, most people are not lawyers because of lack of legal understanding, especially across the borders. People will not be generally understandable about foreclosure market. Also, huge problem that I'm going to spend a little bit on that is accessing the data and utilizing it properly. And also, scalability is an issue. Unlike websites like booking.com or Airbnb, in the scenario of judiciary auctions, there is nothing that resembles that across Europe or globally. So we believe it's a good place to do research and development. And due to all these reasons, most people don't ever participate. We like to split the problems into 3 tiers. Inaccessibility of the market, where big buyers have privileges or privileged information, which is data. They also have the expert knowledge required, which again is data, where we are trying to structure that knowledge into databases and then apply machine learning and just basic statistics onto it. Also, it's low tech, as you will see, with lots of messy data that is not meant for cross-referencing and any type of analysis. So the systems today across Europe, even Serbia, look similar to this maze with multiple players like private buyers, so individuals like us here, banks, on the other hand, legal workers, whether liquidation managers, bailiffs, public notaries, or lawyers, public agencies, government authorities, and with all the problems surrounding it, right? Which is basically, I'm going to show you on the user journey soon, but generally speaking, a user has to go through multiple websites continuously to find the data, download, vet, analyze, compare with other sources. Also, they have to do a lot of manual labor, basically calling various agencies and individuals to get additional data in a manual format. And also, it's, at the end of the day, really time-consuming and expensive. So this is our way of showing how the data flows in our system. We are getting the data from public data sources, populating our databases, and then doing data validation, market intelligence, and in future we will be providing legal advice in our applications, or we like to call them micro products, as I will explain. Also, what is interesting here, we believe there is a big potential of building a smart app where also we will get the data from the users themselves. So think about it as Facebook or Instagram, where you're interacting with the platform. You're actually giving a lot of your psychographics, demographic, your click-throughs, your likes and dislikes back into the engine, and then the user experience is better and better over time. So that is our vision as well, what we are working towards. And also, we are here only a few of us, so I would be happy if you guys can stop me at any point and ask me questions. It can be really, you know, kind of two-way discussion. So what is interesting on one side with regards to judiciary auctions and public auctions governed by the authorities in every country, it's really feeling like Web 1.0 experience. So if you look at, you know, places like United States with missing critical information, the websites look like this. In Australia, with a lot of static data, where you have to upload manually your form in a Word document, send it back via email to the authority of a Victoria state, for example, in order to partake in judiciary auctions. In Germany, many barriers to entry. Everything is in local language, even though people in European Union can buy and participate from anywhere in 27 countries. Basically, this prevents them to do so. This is Croatian example, basically not made for modern investor. So my story is that I lived abroad for 11 years, 9 years in Singapore. I just moved back to Croatia about 8 months ago. And I have been doing trading in stocks since 15 years ago. And I am using that example of stock trading and crypto trading and all the data that is available immediately to, you know, all around the world. I'm trying to replicate some of those analogies into this outdated market. So you will see that across the presentation. This is Polish version. Again, really hard to navigate unless you are somebody in the legal system. Now, if you have ever been in real estate agencies, or if you have ever maybe participated in purchasing a property, you know that it's a really lengthy process. It can take 1 year or more to find a proper suitable house, land, especially if it's outside your city or a country or municipality. There are actually about 10 data sources that one has to navigate. For example, usually customers will go to cadastre data, or their lawyers will go to cadastre data to understand the the building zones. They will understand the title of the ownership of the property, who has the loan or the debt on that property, to understand the legal nuances. That's those few sources. Then of course Google Maps, Google Street View, also the legal databases with the notifications and notices as well. So what we would like to see in some vision in future, and we believe that's where the countries will go towards, is unified databases of all government data married together to make it easy to access via API, via mobile app, via SaaS platforms, similar to Booking.com. And instead of wasting weeks and months on doing this research, the government data will be married, but maybe that will happen in 10 years time across Europe, or even later in other countries. So this is where we see opportunity for research development and startup like ours. So here, one approach that we take in our product design and our user experience design is to really map up, before we go into building the mobile apps, web apps, we like to do a thorough analysis of user journey. So here you see a user journey. I'm not going to go through every box, but basically it's a 20-step process that one has to take, a retail investor or any type of investor needs to do today in order to get through the auctioning process. This process can be lasting for 3 to 12 months, even longer. I personally purchased 2 properties when I lived in Singapore. I purchased them in Croatia, and I witnessed this myself about 10 times. So through my personal pains, I built this with my team. I built this user journey with many of the pain points. So the red ones are pain points that people will witness, and then green ones are opportunities for our startup and innovation. So I mentioned already a few, but the problem is that you see there is a several times where a customer has to travel to the site. So you need to travel to the court. You need to travel to the court maybe again if they postpone the auction or cancel the auction, or maybe they will put the auction into the second stage or third stage or fourth stage. So you need to be ready to travel several times. Also, you need to travel to the place of the property when you get a chance to actually view it for 30 minutes or 60 minutes by liquidation manager or the authority. So it's a really, really specific niche with lots of opportunities, but only patient people will basically go through them. So that's basically how we think about it, and we counted that today I spent about 700 man hours with about 10 people that I had to involve during the process, because I was remote. I was 15,000 kilometers away, and I didn't have a myriad of data to scan by myself or algorithmically, right? Basically that's where we would like to go. Where we want to go, our goal is to allow a customer to do it in 10 man hours with one laptop or a mobile phone. And again, please stop me if you have any questions. So here we are also mapping all the players today in the market in order to understand deeply what's going on globally and what can we learn from competitors, what can we learn from players in the field. There are companies in United States like auction.com, PropStream, foreclosure.com, bankforeclosure.com that have been around for decades, some of them for decades. And they have millions and millions of data points. Most of them are made for advanced customers, where a customer has to basically be a regular buyer or regular investor into auction properties. And we feel this can be, taken a step further and apply algorithms that I'm going to come to. So we are positioning ourselves as a Web 3.0 startup. So volume-wise, I was also shocked to see the volume of the properties every year. So in European Union alone, we counted 250,000 real estate properties sold in 2021. These are the numbers by the countries: Greece 55,000, 20,000 Germany, Italy 45, Croatia 3,000 plus. So this was really astounding to us, and this is hundreds of billions of dollars worth of market in European Union, and then even further bigger in United States and Asia Pacific. And even Australia was really surprising, with 70,000 auctions this year alone. So whenever we talk to investors like VCs, they will ask us why now is the right time, because most investors were not really knowledgeable about this niche, and we had to come up with these three main reasons. So because of the COVID and the interest rates are now about 10%, or inflation 10%, interest rates are 6% or more. That's actually pushing people into the alternative investments and real estate as a safe haven. So also there will be a growing amount coming up in next couple of years based on Bloomberg, Guardian, Yahoo Finance, and other statistics from the trusted sources. Okay, I can talk more about that later, but maybe I would like to go and show you more about the data part. So, any questions so far? Okay. Let me maybe first explain you a bit about how we think about the data flow. Who of here is a data engineer, data scientist, data analyst, and business people, others business? Okay. So the data flow, this will be interesting to both groups. Okay, so do you see well? Okay, so for every country, there are a couple of blocks of data that we are either getting today already, collecting it daily, or would like to have in future based on our resources and our manpower internally, in order to build the machine learning models and to build algorithms on top of them to rank properties, auctions, according to the user's preferences. So what's going on here is that from the auction sites, and every country has at least 3 publicly available data, trusted data sources, we are getting the data on a daily basis into our data lake. Also from the cadastre data, as well as the legal notification boards from the courts. That would be in the green boxes. In the blue boxes, what we plan to do is in future, is to collect additional data that can be coupled with the auction property data that I mentioned. For example, tax data in every country where you can access it via API, such as in Singapore or United States, or you can get it by you building your own engines or manually. Tax data is really, really valuable because it gives us real reselling prices that have been signed at the public notary. So in future, we would like to have a data from that system to overlay across any country where we are present. On the other hand, you see the PDF appraisals in green. This is a proof of concept that we are building on, where with machine learning and OCR technology and LLMs, we are extracting the data from official government appraisals, evaluation document that basically tells the public how much a property is valued according to an authority, whether a architecture studio or construction engineering studio. So this is always given in the PDF format, which has challenges because it's not scalable, it's not parsed, it's not properly structured. And we see this as a big value add to the customer. For example, in Germany, none of the PDFs are digitized. You have to physically collect the appraisal or via email and then go to the court to participate in an auction. Another box that we find relevant is a neighborhood statistics. So imagine if you are interested in analyzing property in Niš or Zagreb or Sweden, you will either have to fly over there and investigate at the site what is going on and find your own trusted lawyers, real estate agents, and maybe construction engineers, or have your own team. Whereas if we get that data in future, we would be able to build the index of quality of the property and the neighborhood. Now, the data goes into transformation, loading, and data extraction, transformation, loading, and we use Azure Cloud at the moment due to the Microsoft credits. And we are populating it on the Postgres database. And I will show you soon the short demo in the Elastic Stack. Who of here is familiar with Elastic Stack? Okay, so Elastic is a phenomenal open source stack of technologies for data engineering, visualization, machine learning, ETLs, and it basically allows you to ingest huge amounts of data, big data, and do a lot of logging, visualizations really easily. And our MVP, minimum viable product, will look something like here, where customer will be fed the best properties according to his or her preferences in a web and mobile app. And then once we collect enough of the user's interactions data, this will be add on as another layer in the database, and then improve the models, ranking algorithms, predictive algorithms for each customer. Another interesting field that we see here is data from commercial companies like Booking.com, Experian, and Airbnb, for example, which will tell a customer how much a property can be valued or how much they could be making if they purchase that auction. Any questions? Okay, so that is what we are doing for a couple of countries. And now, how many more minutes, sorry? Okay, so here you will see the real data coming through from last couple of months. So here you can see in this heat map what we have built for Spain, Italy, Croatia is a heat map of discounted properties according to the estimated value from the appraisals, as I mentioned, and the beginning price of the auction. So if the color is red, it means that the discount is over 50%, 25%, and so forth. So here we are able to find any property by the address. We are able to click and digest what it is. Is it a house, a land, or another type? We can see the volume of auctions in Spain, over 200,000, 65,000 for Italy, average price. We can see various types of auctions coming through in week over week. And we can drill down by the property type and go in details to basically help customers navigate big data. So some of, before I wrap up, and maybe if you have any questions, based on our analysis of 36,000 auctions. These are some of the problems that our data engineers and data scientists are facing. The database schema in every country or in every database is not universal. A lot of data is locked in the PDFs, as I mentioned, which also is an opportunity for innovation. And with many languages, it's hard to do the regex functions. Another POC we are building in collaboration with a college in Croatia is to extract the data and the images from the PDFs automatically with manual supervision, such as types, starting price, bidding offers, descriptions, and then offer it via our applications. And yeah, according to our 36,000 data or auction analysis, over 50% of the data is messy data, which is where we see value for VendueTech. Done? Okay, so I think I covered most parts. Yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.